I've never seen DMK like this.
I know, I am shocked. I was like, is this actually Bangkok airport?
It's always packed with people. But right now it's 4:30 a.m. So I'm guessing we might be one of the first few. Welcome to Bangkok!
So we are here in Bangkok today. We took an overnight flight from Kolkata and we reached here early morning. We checked into one of the hostels here and then just slept because we had not slept at all last night. We're out and about exploring Bangkok and we'll be taking you guys along.
So our first stop is Saket.
But before that, food. It has a lot of vegetables. I can see baby corn, capsicum, carrot, a little bit of tofu as well. And this is mixed with brown noodles as well as black noodles.
She said peanuts. Do you see peanuts? Oh, those.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
peanuts as well.
And then we also have some extra hot sauce, some chili sauce. Actually, it's chili vinegar.
And lots of
Other seasonings and oils and sauces and hungry people.
look at this.
We're both learning how to use chopsticks and failing miserably while doing it.
We're enjoying the food.
Kabong ka. almost at the top of Wat Saket Mount, and this is just amazing. It's got some really brilliant views. As you can see, this is all of Bangkok city. It's cloudy, but there is a little peep of the sun every now and then, so it's definitely making the walk harder. But at the top, they say there's something very beautiful. So Wat Saket is a very important memorial in Thai history, and that is because it dates back quite a few centuries, in fact to the late 19th century when it was actually being constructed, but it never got finished. So the interesting story behind this is that King Rama III and then his two successors after that, Rama IV and Rama V, were actually the ones who took the responsibility to build this. So initially when the canals of Bangkok were being dug, a lot of the silt that was being pulled out from the land was taken and put together in one spot. So this happened to be in the center of Bangkok city, and eventually over time a small mound began to get formed. The mound was being built of soil, but then the king decided that there should be a chedi or a pagoda over here. So that's how they eventually decided to have a beautiful golden pagoda at the very top. And then while they were doing the construction, the soil began to sink. So it turns out that the silt that was used to pile up, the silt that was used to create the mound itself, was sinking or pushing further down the land or the soil that was there underneath. So in order to then address that, the project was abandoned. But eventually, the next king, King Rama IV and King Rama V after, decided to put concrete walls all around and then build this pagoda to what it is today.
As soon as we enter this pagoda, there is mist coming from all the sides. It makes you feel so calm and cool instantly. Until halfway up the mountain, it's all misty and there is so much greenery everywhere and there are so many waterfalls. Wherever you look, there's a waterfall.
These are all artificially done, but you can see it in Shishira's face how much she enjoyed it.
And they have installed these small statues at many places. Some of them are really funny looking and some of them are these horses and different kinds of animals, some Buddhas. It looks so picturesque and it's really calming.
And what's interesting is, a lot of the other temples have really high ticket prices. This one is just 50 baht.
There are 344 steps here to reach the top, the golden stupa at the top. So even though there are so many steps, it doesn't feel very strenuous to go up because the stairs are really very, very slightly inclined, and all through the journey till the top you will hear these prayers chanting.
You can hear it right now too.
Yeah, and also the wind here is really strong, so the wind pushes the bells and there are so many bells perimetered around the mountain. It's really nice to hear it.
And you'll get one of the best views of Bangkok city.
Yes, it's a 360-degree view. We loved it. From this point onwards, for a few kilometers, you can see so many stupas and temples and red slopy
roofs
buildings at so many places. But once you cross this perimeter, the circle, It's just big, tall concrete buildings all over, and they're all in different shapes. It's so pretty to look at it.
So now we are on our way to this next place called the Ong Canal. So what we've heard is on Friday nights there should be an interesting night market scene, and Shishra suggested that we go there and check it out. Apparently there's, it's more of a hangout place for the locals here, and it's not a very touristy spot as such, but it's more of a cultural scene. So let's go check that out. We thought that the night market was not there today, but then we just crossed over a bridge and looks like the party is here.
This place is so nice and colorful. This is a very fun spot to hang out, especially in the evenings and at night. There are so many restaurants here. We saw many Indian restaurants, Korean, Chinese, apart from Thai food restaurants.
And there's a lot of street food. No?
Yes, lots and lots.
Including pani puri.
So if you're going to come to the street, make sure you come hungry. So this is only on Fridays, Saturdays and Sundays from 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock.
From the night sky will never be enough, never be enough.
All in, the first day looks like it was fun. It's been a while since we got out, right? This is our first international flight in
2.5 years.
Nearly 3 years actually. We've almost come like 3 years in a full circle, and I'll tell you this, not a lot has changed with respect to international travel, but you know that feeling that you get when you finally get to what you've been wanting to see or visit or experience, I can see that in a lot of people, not just us.
And also that sound when the immigration office, when they stamp your passport, that feeling.
We had renewed passports, so we had brand new passports, and then the first stamp fell on the passport sheet today. So at the end of this video, do watch out for what the visa process was like. I'll keep it very crisp and in a minute, so it'll help anybody who's planning to travel now to Thailand in July. Visa process was pretty smooth, even though we were checking in at Don Mueang airport, which you know is notorious for big queues and everything. But this is all that we needed. First, flights. So of course you will have your entry flight. You also need one return trip ticket, basically the flight back to India or your home country, or an onward ticket. That is a flight which you will use to exit Thailand to the next country. Thailand doesn't entertain land border crossings as a valid form of documentation for exit, so you need to have a flight exit ticket only. Second, For the application form, everything is laid out at the counter itself. So you just need to pick up that form, fill it up with your address, your details, and then your passport number and when you intend to fly out, and the address for all the days of your stay. So for instance, for Indian citizens, for Indian nationals, you get a 15-day visa on arrival. So you'll need to mention all the addresses wherever you're staying during the time that you're in Thailand. So we were staying for 12 days, so we had all of the addresses for those 12 days, and we also had copies of the bookings. So third, bookings for hotels, and if you have any overnight transport, like in our case we had one overnight train journey and one overnight bus journey. So all of these vouchers, we printed it out. So Agoda, Booking.com, any of those, just the main sheet which has the name of the place, the address, the days of stay, and of course the fact that it's a confirmed booking, that needs to be there on the sheet, and your names. So we presented that. So bookings is taken care of. We also needed to carry 2 photographs, one of each, and then we had to put that on the application form as well. And then the last bit is about money. So 2000 baht is the fee for visa on arrival currently. As soon as you get to the counter, this is what typically happens. You are guided towards a priority lane. Priority lanes charge 200 baht extra per person, which means your visa fee will come out to 2200 baht. It's, a lot of vloggers claim this is a scam, but it's just how their system works. It's not a scam. It's more about how fast you get your processing done. But I'll come to a little funny thing in a bit, but you don't always need to go through priority lane. So if you don't want to do it and you don't want to pay the additional 200 baht fee, you can just request that same person, whoever is guiding you there, to show you the non-priority or the ordinary or general lane. They use all of these names. So then they guided us to the general lane, and then the work got done in just about the same time. In fact, funnily enough, and Shishira is giggling behind the camera here, the number of people in the priority lane were at least 50 or 60, whereas in the general lane, because nobody was there were only about 5 applicants, and we finished our entire immigration process in about 5 minutes or less, whereas all of these guys I think have waited for at least 25 minutes in total. So when we got to the counter, we had to present our application form, our photo, our hotel bookings, our onward flight ticket or a return flight ticket. In our case, we had an onward flight, and then we also had to show that money of 2000 baht, and then they collected that. One additional thing which was not verified in our case but can be verified in anybody's case, and we noticed this happening in somebody else's who was in the queue along with us, is that they ask if you have enough cash to spend in the country. This is currently about 10,000 baht per person or 20,000 baht per family. So this needs to be there in cash is what they say, but I'm guessing you should be able to prove to them if you have a debit card or a credit card as well, which supports that kind of monetary facility. In our case, we did have a few dollars, a few hundreds of dollars, which would cover for this sort of expectation, but we were never asked to show it. So yeah, that's pretty much where it is. One last thing, COVID vaccination certificate definitely needs to come along. We've had 3 doses, so that was there on our certificate. At the point of immigration, at the earliest gate, they just asked us if we have it, and then at immigration they didn't really bother to check again. But I do believe there are surprise checks, so if you come without a certificate or you are not vaccinated, you could land in trouble if you try to pass through without being truthful about it. So that's it. But first impressions, the city is definitely amazing. Shishira, what did you think of?
It's too loud here to talk.
That's true. Bye. There's another thing that we noticed. If we end up taking a break for a few days from vlogging, we're just not able to do it. We're struggling today because we haven't vlogged for over a week. And
it's really hard. You need a lot of practice to even vlog. It was so easy for us before, but now we are struggling and we are ending up you should have told this, you should have told that, you're telling too much, you're not telling anything.
Yeah, it's
now he'll complain that I'm telling too much.
Yeah, this is like the best example you can get. It's live. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's we've
now he's just forgotten that we shouldn't talk when it's noisy.
Your mask.
1, 2. Okay.
It's recording.